Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of MNW Firing Line. I am your host, Mojo, and with me as always is my co-host, Faye Jinn. How's it going, Faye?
Oh boy, we've had a pretty long week. Things have been busy back here at the desk. We got a lot of stuff to cover tonight.
Most definitely, but before we get into that, I will mention to everybody that MNW has a big ground-shaking announcement that will be gone on after the show, so please stick around and stay tuned for that. But until then, Super Saiyan 630, thank you for the follow, and, well, Faye, how's about we get right on into it?
Oh boy, I'm excited. Let's get started.
Most definitely. This past flashbang has been very interesting. The looming question of the citric cane, as well as this mystery. There's mystery shapeshifter individual that's walking around. I mean, as well as we saw last week, Hutch Kale is supposed to go up against Brawl Kaiser in the main event for the Interdimensional Championship.
Oh boy, the lead up to all that, not to mention just the general share against the general mysteries around the rosters. As far as Flashbang side of things are concerned, it's got all our eyes on it at the moment.
Most definitely, but another title contention that we must talk about is the Trios Championship match that's going to be posted at a later day. We have AAA going up against Doom, and tonight we start off with some words from the Pumpkin King himself, Mad Jack.
Sorry, but we're going to have a change in your typical start to Flashbang. Greetings, one and all! You already know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here, do you? Well, allow me to enlighten all of you into the glorious plan of Doom. You see, last week, Doom was robbed. Michael Macabre grabbing the bottom rope and the referee conveniently missing the rope completely. Now, should this have happened to anyone else, there would have been an outcry of support. But I can't help but notice the Multiverse not giving any support to their favorite trio, the Champions. But it's okay, because Michael here tonight is going to get his revenge. And to make sure there's no more shenanigans, the rest of AAA's trio development team will be fighting myself and Xerxes. So don't even think about accompanying your boy to ringside. It's one-on-one, and may the best man win. And Michael will, in our opinion. You see, I am about to prove once and for all that we are not only the dominant faction, but the most popular. So, if you will indulge me, I would like to conduct a little bit of a survey for all of you here tonight. Now, this is a participation event, so do play along. Ahem. How many of you came here tonight to watch AAA? All right. And how many of you came to see the DOOM? That's one more for the bad guys.
Mad Jack laying out two challenges, a tag match later on in the night with himself and Xerxes going up against El Pollo and Demolition Fox, as well as later on in the night as well we have the second match of El Toro Azul going up against Michael Macabre. And also, a couple of things that we should probably mention were the consistent tributes to a wrestler who has passed away last week, Scott Hall. So, yeah, I know Victor Vicious was very torn up about it.
All right, he's just a wonderful person. Everyone on the roster wanted to pay their respects in some way, shape, or form.
Most definitely. And we will be seeing all those kinds of tributes later on in the show. But until then, we have a match that was brought on. Speaking of Victor Vicious, we have a match that was booked by not only Victor Vicious, but also Mizuki Napier of Apex. We have Satyrus Vasilikis being led down to the ring by Lapris Minotaurus of Apex, going up against Nitzig Gunk Gobbler of the Cartel. So you got a Minotaur versus a versus a big War Chief Orc. Who do you got?
I don't know. I mean, the Minotaurs are always a crowd favorite, to be honest, but it's just great. It's just something great about seeing just two big guys in the ring, just slugging at each other. Always a treat.
And I must make an addendum. It is Lapris in the ring, Satyrus outside of the ring. I swear I need like a freaking cue card for these two. I always mix them up. Where's that one thing that Molly gave us? There it is. But yeah, here we have Lapris just going to town on Nitzig, and then Nitzig just giving it right back to him.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, it's just great seeing two big competitors like this just being able to throw everything they got at each other. I can only imagine how fun that would be. Just being able to throw your weight around, just toss someone across the ring into the ground and just not have to worry about it. Although I don't think Nitzig particularly cares. He'd probably fight anyone.
I mean, the War Boss is definitely one of those like to where he would be glad about punching metal. I mean, he definitely feels like the kind of guy that doesn't really hold back whatsoever. And Lapris, I mean, this guy is one of the heavy hitters of Apex, so not needing to hold back whatsoever has to be a godsend for him. And then here we have, just like this exchange of blows back and forth. Like, this is kind of what. Okay, so and then we have freaking Satyrus just throwing in a chair, and the chair just curiously landed like on its side. What are the odds?
I don't know. Ever since we had our table incident, I've just been looking at all the furniture real strangely. Admittedly, I've had to check my desk like 3 times to make sure someone didn't replace it when I wasn't looking.
I mean, the possibility of any of our appliances being mimics is not low. It is low, but not impossible, I guess. Although the coffee maker did kind of give me a weird look. Gotta check that out later. Anyway, big pounce from the War Boss, and Lapris, Satyrus is also just running interference, making sure that his brother does not get pinned. Nice posing there from Nitzig. And although I'm very curious why, I mean, we heard the promo of how this match came to be, but we don't really. Daka dropping straight onto the horns. Count it 1, 2, kicking right at 2. But yeah, we don't really know why this match was booked.
To the best of my memory, it looks like Satyrus over there is still just getting in on it with the ref. If I recall, there was some audio about a deal with Victor Vicious of the Cartel, making a deal with Mizuki Napier of all people, in regards to a particular member of the Warzone roster, that being Jax, due to his attempted cash in on Victor in the C-101. He seems like he wants to get some Jax off his back.
Right, I must misremembered. I thought this was good. Victor has been striking a lot of deals with a lot of people. I have miscrossed something or other.
Yeah, APS keeps calling him out on it. Mike Davis talks about it pretty often, even in the back sometimes, just about all the deals going on. I try not to follow along with that. I just want to get my story straight. Oh, and just Nitsig is just going to town over here on Libris.
Power slamming, just dropping the orky butt right onto the freaking cervix. Ugh. Not cervix. Sternum. That's the word I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking of. Sternum. Jesus, I am. You guys can tell I've been up since like 6 a.m. Right?
I mean, to be fair, I mean, I haven't looked at the Minotaur brothers closely enough to figure out if they got all their bones in the right places.
From what I understand, Minotaurs are very close. Just and the ref just throws out Satyrus Basilicus for interfering too much.
We have too much distraction over there.
And the pounce.
He was when Labris almost had the count on him. It was just sitting there for a couple of seconds, but the ref was not having it.
And that was what Nitsig needed to win this match. And your winner, doing his choppa dance, is Nitsig Gunk Gobbler. And also Beowulf, thank you for raiding with the party of 2. How was your stream? So Faye. What'd you think of the match?
I honestly, probably not going to be said by a lot of people, but a very surprisingly clean match. Like, Nitsig, genuinely, he wasn't pulling any tricks. There was no cartel backup. He just had the time of his life, just slugging it out in the ring.
Well, definitely. That was a proper hoss fight, and the moment Satyrus got ejected from the match, that is like the exact thing that Nitsig needed to win. But, ladies and gentlemen, that we are not done. No, we are not. That was only the first match, but we have to go back down to the ring to hear a bit of an announcement from himself, from the interim general manager of Friday Night Flashbang, Mr. Lawson.
I thought that I made it perfectly clear, but maybe there was a miscommunication. I made it very clear that wrestlers were not to make their own matches. I did not think I had to clarify beyond that. Not only should wrestlers not be making their own matches, they should not be interfering in other matches. I just received a report that both Brawl Kaiser and Hutch Kale have been found unconscious backstage. So now someone has gone and ruined my main event, a main event that was set into motion. And the problem is, I don't know who it is. I have an idea of a couple of people it might be, but no definitive footage, because when do the cameras ever work around here? So here's what we're going to do. Our main event will now be AAA versus Doom. And next week, if the person responsible for these attacks does not come forward, there will be hell to pay. There will be consequences, the likes of which you have never seen. So the choice is yours. Hide in the shadows, and I promise you, these punishments will be far-ranging, and they will encompass you whether I know who you are or not. Or step forward like someone with courage would do, like someone with dignity would do. I'll see you next week.
Holy. So, big news. Hutch Kale and Brawl Kaiser were attacked backstage, and we were not able to have that main event. So the main event is AAA, El Pollo, and Demolition Fox taking on Xerxes and the Pumpkin King Magic. And I have a sneaking suspicion who that might be.
Yeah, I mean, there's the concern of the shapeshifter about... I just don't like the fact that both of them ended up getting attacked. Because that's just... Like, the the show has been things have been on edge on the Flashbang side of things already. We don't really need any more just nonsense going around in the back. Like, come on, we just want to get through these matches. Everyone gets their matches. We review it. That's how this works. Just kind of making an unsafe work environment kind of makes the staff not want to show matches or review matches. Just saying.
Yeah, it hasn't been like we haven't really had a lot of backstage attacks like that ever since, like, especially the ones that weren't shown on camera at the very least. We haven't had a lot of attacks like that since the early rise of the Empire of Terror, and I can I can vouch for being there for those. Not fun, very not fun. Trust me on that one.
No, I know. I will take your word for it. And I'm honestly just very glad Lawson wants to get to the bottom of this as soon as possible. I saw a lot of angry messages that both of them ended up getting attacked, and I think I even saw something on Twitter about Victor Vicious, asking Kuso Kale to come out and they would go settle things their way since, from her perspective, both her boys got attacked.
Yeah, a friend of someone who tagged with her once, as well as her husband. I believe the message was, no one gets to kick his ass but me. So, yeah.
Yeah, maybe don't piss off the lady in Mandalorian armor, who is also one of your current reigning tag team championships and has almost been in contention for the heavyweight championship itself. Wrong lady. Bad. Very bad.
Yeah, it's the one of the worst people to piss off, especially. Yeah, no. Like I've read up about what Mandalorians do. No, thank you. But we will get to, hopefully more information will be provided to us within the week. Hopefully tomorrow on Friday Night Flashbang. But until then, we still have a whole lot more show to go through. We have a match that we haven't really done in a whole while. We did not have a showcase match this week, but we had a get off the schneid match. For those who do not know what a get off the schneid match is, that is four individuals who are kind of on the losing side of things. A bunch of guys who need that win, who need that one win to just boost themselves right back up to where they think they're supposed to go. And we start off with, of Apex, the Sunken Pirate Captain Zephyr Tail. Coming up next, we have Alexis Edmonton coming off of her match against Aurelian Starhand. Yo, Kyo, DJ Kyo of the Cyberbots is coming out third. And coming out last, which I'm actually very surprised about this entry, was Lionel Matrix of the Grand Equation. I was a little surprised of seeing him here. I did not realize that he'd had a pretty... I wasn't aware that he had a losing streak this big.
Potentially. The last I recall of him was a showcase a few weeks back, although admittedly he didn't come out the winner. But there just must be some overall record that they're looking at. Although that is said, I haven't also known much of DJ Kill or Zephyr Tail down there. Although Zephyr Tail, I noticed, was very, very excited coming into this match, which is always a great thing to see.
Yeah, like he mentioned about being on a Get Off the Schneid match and how he was a little surprised about it and kind of gave a bit of a warning to the rest of the competitors.
Well, personally, he looks like he could probably back that up. Scary looking fella, though. I don't know. There's some kind of charm about him. That must be like that roguish type energy that I'm picking up on. Who do you like, though?
Honestly, Matrix. Lionel Matrix. He is a phenomenal talent and one of the best rookies that we've ever had.
I do agree. He has been a bit of a crowd favorite at times. Although I don't know much about Kel or Alexis. Beyond like some of their the face-offs with Aurelian Sarkhan, the mercenary.
See, Alexis Edmonton is definitely one of the most determined members of the roster. She had a couple of flubs here and there, but she's honestly one of the most, like, it's like I said, one of the most determined. It doesn't matter how many times she falls down, she gets right back up, and that's admirable right there. And as well as Cool J Kyo, the battling boxing bot, like, he is by far one of the best strikers that we have on Flashbang. I mean, I see what Cyber Controller sees in Kyo, honestly.
Right. Just
Mosh pit.
imagine, oh, absolutely. Fitting the wrestler like that into just a bigger, kind of like into a bigger puzzle almost. Must be a little bit tricky, but once they got their niche, once they fit their spot, they can probably be placeable because it just gives them room to further enhance themselves.
Yeah, especially like when it comes to the Cyberbots at the very least. I mean, Cyber Controller, the mastermind himself, and then big power bomb straight to the concrete. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still working on this thing in the back of my throat that's stuck there, I swear. Anyway, but yeah, we have, I mean, Cyber Controller, as well as Cool J Kill, one of the best strikers, and then the freaking heavy that is Talos Sid, who we have not seen since the Cyberbots' loss in the Trios tournament. And Alexis Edmonton taps.
Yep. Like you were saying, Matrix, a very skilled individual. It's unfortunate for her, but according to at least what I was researching, I believe Matrix has won or definitely participated in another Schneid match prior to this one. Although this was months back, or perhaps years back.
So the funny thing is, so this was, I believe, excuse me. It was definitely at a breakdown last Easter, I want to say. Ooh, God, springboard right there, just no purchase. He made his debut at a breakdown last spring, and it was technically a get off the Schneid match, and he technically didn't have a win. So, Brawlkaiser took the victory, but yeah, like, he had made an impactful debut, as well as winning the last get off the Schneid match.
Gosh, the airtime on Zephyr Tail, though. A high flyer over there. Not surprising. I can picture him just swinging from mast to mast.
Oh, God. Just imagine that.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. I mean, he looks like he could pull that off, right?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, the Sunken Pirate Captain, the Shark Man, is... I mean, you don't get called that for a reason. Like, he definitely feels like the kind of guy that would be doing, like, tightrope walks on like, masts and stuff.
Just the setup from across the ring, and here he goes again.
And speaking of that, those jumps, coast to coast drop kick, and Kyo just gets.
I think I saw a bit of oil splash there. Ouch.
Yeah, Jesus. Ooh. Sucker got him right in the jaw, and then Kyo tries to pick up the win, but does not get all of it. Ooh, standing Spanish fly. Kicking right out of two is Kyo. And
these three individuals are pretty hardy. So I'm very happy to see them last this long.
And locking him into Tequila Sunrise. Will Kyo tap? He's just hanging in there, locking that leg in, but no, Kyo stands firm. Ooh, a nice lariat, though. Putting the full force of God in that one. And then locking him into the Heaven's Lock, and Kyo taps immediately. Heaven's Lock is turning into one of the more devastating moves in Flashbang. So we got 2 eliminations. We got 2 out of the 4 eliminated by Matrix. Matrix just needs 1 to make this a clean sweep.
He's gonna be given hell over here in a second, though. Zephyr's not going to be taken down that easily.
Oh god, no. This is a man that went into a war with Jack Andrews before he became the Black Prince. This is the 3rd, if I remember correctly, the 3rd in command of Apex. So, yeah, you don't get to that high of a rung in Apex, even if he was the 3rd man recruited. Just like easily.
Oh god, those elbows that he's just laid down on the Matrix, that stings.
Yeah, stop your heart if you were for a normal person, but Matrix just got right back up. Just all out brawl outside the ring. Oof. Sucker punch straight to the... Well, it's not really sucker punch, just that mounted punch straight to the jawline.
Absolutely abusing Matrix right now.
This is the second match, isn't it? This is the second match.
It is the second match.
Oh my god! Alright!
Head first on.
Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I had to hack up a lung. Didn't want y'all to hear all of that grossness. Anyway, back in the ring. Matrix... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it's just I'm seeing a pretty good joke on Twitter. Keep going.
You know you have to share, right? Oh, the Sunken Sea Treasure straight onto Matrix. Going in for that cover. 1, 2, 3. Matrix eliminates half of those participating, but the winner is Zephyr Tail of Apex.
I feel like he got underestimated there in the same way that people like to underestimate literally any aquatic superhero in a setting. It's got that same kind of energy for me.
Also, I just remembered that he did all those elbow strikes with his right arm. He has a freaking spiked elbow pad.
Yeah, that he does.
Huh. But, so, what'd you think of the match?
Oh, I was so happy to see Zephyr pull out everything in the way he did. I'm mostly happy with his and Matrix's performance. Although, speaking of Matrix, you did ask me to share. So, from Twitter, we have... so Matrix gets into the NRA, he is Matrix Reloaded. I like to counter that with, if he did a complete turn 360, would he be Matrix Revolution?
Huh?
If he did a 360, would he be Matrix Revolution?
I figured you would have said like Matrix Rebounded or something. I'm sorry, that did not land with me. But speaking of,
okay.
Zephyr Tail, thank you for the follow. He heard your praise. But ladies and gentlemen, we have coming up next our Flashbang promo of the week, and this. Excuse me, I got caught on that one. This is technically not for a Flashbang program, but it's a Flashbang manager. The specifics are weird, but you know what? We're just gonna play the promo, ladies and gentlemen. The proper villain, Dr. Caliban.
Well now, Victor Vicious, I find this interesting. I believe I am, as Thunderbolt tells me is the popular term, living rent-free in your head. You are so focused on the House of Caliban, which I'm sure makes Spike ever so happy, since it will make his task of taking the World Championship off of you so much easier. And you have allied yourself with my old friend Victor Grimm. How delightful. May I suggest you ask Lucius Constantine how well that worked out for him? And speaking of Dr. Grimm, I will address you, sir, tomorrow on Warzone. And in parting, Mr. Vicious, may I suggest you see your primary care provider? Paranoid delusions are not something you want to leave untreated.
And that was some words from the good doctor himself, with a warning to Victor Vicious, especially after Vicious earlier on in the night was shown to have made a bit of a deal with Dr. Grimm of the Murder Cave.
Quite. The doctor is not afraid of taking a few calls, as it seems, and with tensions rising between House of Caliban and the Murder Cave, this was kind of a foregone conclusion. I'm sure Victor has his reasons for allying with Dr. Grimm, but it is probably not going to end well if Caliban's reference to one Lucius there is to be taken seriously.
Yeah, but it also just kind of feeds into the consistent deals that that Victor Vicious keeps making. He making deals with Grimm to get the House of Caliban off of his back, deals with Mizuki Napier to get Semjax off his back, and then the deal with Earl King West that we don't know particularly much of outside of tag with my boys for that trios tournament. We have no idea what he invited in. But until then, Brad, buddy, okay. Anyway, so don't you sass me, boy. I swear, Brad gets very excited when stuff like this keeps happening.
He just loves to wrestle and let the pooch be.
He used to be a very docile man. Now he's a very excitable wolf man. But until then, we are going to go right into this next match. This was advertised last week by Mike Davis of APS. We have Jack the Questionable versus Helix Sucks Death himself. And coming out the gate, Jack was actually trying to take the big man off his feet pretty easily, but Helix Sucks is kind of a brick wall, as you can see.
Oh, no, absolutely. You don't just go up against a man labeled as Death himself without expecting a hard line of resistance over there.
I mean, Helix Sucks, the former MNW heavyweight champion from Warzone, and I mean, consistently in that main event picture, whenever a new contender is sought after. I think the only time he didn't try and go for it was during the trios tournament. Actually, was he in the Monster Mash? I don't think so. He was? Okay.
Thank you over there, Pooch.
He doesn't like being called Pooch. It reminds him of his,
Aw.
affliction. As you can tell.
Well, he makes good citations. I appreciate his help.
Yeah, he also does good camera work, but he gets way too excited. That freaking cat, that cat orphanage. Ugh. Anyway.
He's got enough shaky cam shots to do another Taken movie.
Oof. Hot take. And speaking of, I don't have a segue for that. This match between Helix Sucks and Jack the Questionable, getting a little. I mean, I definitely edited around this, but I don't think Jack got a whole lot of offense in this match. It was mostly just 10-15 minutes of Helix Sucks beating the crap out of him, as here he's getting trapped and cradled to the grave. And Jack trying to inch his way closer towards those ropes. And just Helix drops it right there, and Jack flips on right out of it. Looks like he's setting up for Death's door, but Jack wiggles out of that as well. It sends Death himself right onto the outside. Oh, Jack. Oh, Jack, you are insane.
That is a bit of a mistake, I want to say, almost.
Yeah,
He's
especially
got him in the side, so... Ouch! Oh, he missed! Oh, no.
Especially when that happens, yeah. Yeah, the ring awareness of the veteran Helix sucks. Yeah, I mean, I understand that you were trying to get him off of his feet onto the outside, but there are better ways of doing that. Thank you,
Please
Brad.
don't spill it out. Please don't spill out into the crowd, you two. The cameramen are having a hard enough time already.
Yeah, clearly, as y'all can hear Brad barking. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we go right back on into the ring. Looks like Jack's gotten Helix set up for the payday. Connecting right there. Going into the cover. 1, 2. Kicking right out of 2 is Helix. The first payday did not do it. What is it going to take to put down Death himself? If I remember correctly, like only a handful of people have actually gotten the pin onto Helix X. Ooh. You don't know Jack straight onto the chest. Is this gonna do it? 1, 2. Kicking right out of 2. Anyway. Sorry, go ahead.
Starting to put in a fair amount of work towards the later half here. Okay, it looks like Jack is starting to finally get some momentum up, which is not easy up against Helix.
Oh, God, no. I mean, like we said, the wily veteran as well as, a veteran, a former World Heavyweight Champion, I think former Tag Champion as well. I can't remember every single one of his accolades, but still, though, like saying that it's hard is an understatement, as we keep mentioning.
Another kick out of 2 over here.
Yeah, Payday 2 did not take on Helix. And just trying to readjust his strategy, trying to go for like a resting chokehold there. Nice standing moonsault, though. I think this is when Helix pretty much turned it onto Jack and was like, okay, you had your fun. It's my turn now. As he tosses him into the corner there.
Oh, it's just ragdolling him.
Yeah, like he makes it look easy. He's working on his arm, too.
Oh god, the camera is just giving us some brutal angles over here. Just these shots to the face.
And this all came after Jackie Q took a contract to interrupt a match of Helix X's, and well, as y'all can see, Helix X ain't too happy. Although I'm just curious who his employer is. Breaking the count so Jack can get right back on into the ring. As Jack leads Death on right to the ropes. And Helix just says, nah, none of that. You go in the corner. And a spear. Yeesh. Oh, God. Brutal kick straight to the freaking face of Jack. Ugh. Imagine, if you will, 300 pounds of pure death coming at you like that. No, thank you.
But he gets the kick out. Not dead yet, thankfully.
And I gotta freaking give it to Jack for lasting this long. Because, like, I think, like, anybody else who's ever had a singles match against Death himself, except, I want to say Earl King West, typically lasts like 10-ish minutes. Oh, locking him into the camel clutch is Helix going to make Jack humble. And Jackie Q breaks on out of it. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think Earl King West is Helix's only loss in Flashbang. Outside of, like, his only singles loss. I will have to check with Carla on that one. Ooh. I think he was trying to go for a powerbomb, but Jack breaks on out of it. We couldn't really see. Flipping around and a nice little side slam. Kicking out at one. Jeez. After all that, he still kicks out at one on that. And he just tosses him again.
Hopefully we don't have to witness an actual casualty here.
We haven't had any deaths, I think, since Taiku. And let's keep it that way. Speaking of which, choke slam onto the Merc. Going in for that
Ouch,
cover.
that will shut you up.
And 3. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Helix sucks. Death himself picking up a big win, getting some retribution against the Merc.
Not as an easy win over as people might expect. Probably just were hoping for a straight out slaughter, but Jackie, the question over here, made quite the resistance up against him, which is always good to see.
Most definitely. I'm not going to lie to you, I definitely predicted that he was going to die in that match. I was like, okay, well, Jack's done for. But Jack surprised the crap out of me.
Oh no, absolutely, and it was a pleasant surprise, frankly. But it does goes to show, whoever hired him probably picked the right person. In all frankness, to be able to last that long against Helix, they made a correct gamble, as far as that paycheck was concerned.
Oh, most definitely. But who that mystery person is, we're still unsure, and hopefully we'll find out soon, because if this is what he does to Jack, I would hate to see what Helix would do to said mystery person.
Yep. As well as any other. Well, hopefully they don't send any other mercenaries. This is hopefully the telltale sign to do not do that. Do not come for death.
Most definitely. But we will be going right into our next program. We have some words from the World Heavyweight Champion himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Victor Vicious.
Hey, yo. Apparently, people don't seem to be getting the message that the cartel runs things around here. And so they went and they took out my boy, Hutch, when he had a title opportunity. And what that tells me is this locker room is terrified about the potential of the cartel. Because if Hutch, I should say when Hutch, takes the Interdimensional Championship away from Brawl Kaiser, we are one championship away from having everything. Now, I could make all nice with the Madness and Kuso Kale, but right now I think Kuso's as pissed off as I am. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my frustrations out on something. And it's going to get me ready for you, Donkey King, a little preview of what's to come.
The cartel and House Caliban have a lot of history together. What is your problem, Vic? Why is it that every week we have to come out here and listen to your gabagooli gook, or whatever it is you Italians call it, and nobody seems to want to shut you up? Now, I thought maybe you had learned your lesson after I dealt with your boy Hutch, but clearly you haven't.
You know, how interesting that you're out here now, Sandman. Because I was just thinking, despite your little tweet saying that it wasn't you, it wasn't House Caliban, how do I know that to be true, an ex-mercenary like yourself with an axe to grind? What, are you just mad that Hutch was going to get his title shot before you and Thunderdork? You know, you point a lot of fingers for a guy who's got his hands in a lot of cookie jars. Let's talk about your dirty laundry, Vic. Let me ask you something. Did you hire the Abyssal Void to deal with Helix and Ramon and distract Spike because you're scared of Spike? Were you not paying attention when we whooped y'all ass last week? That wasn't an illusion. Minor inconvenience with a team that hasn't been together in a year. Listen, Smarty Pants. I said I was going to prove a point, but it wasn't going to be against you. But it is going to be against one of your boys, your marriage counselor, Dragoon. And when I rip his head off and stuff it down his throat. So you must be underestimating Dragoon like the rest of this locker room, because trust me, as somebody who's been in the ring with him, as somebody who is now teaming with him, Dragoon might be the toughest guy in House Caliban. So go ahead, Vic. Write your own obituary. I would love to watch that show. The only obituary is going to be for Dragoon and for Donkey Kong. Don't forget, you brought this fight to us. We ain't got nothing to do with the Mad World. But you keep coming out here running your mouth like you got something to prove, tough guy. 3 years of unfulfilled promises. You don't get to step to the champ like that. 3 years of unfulfilled promises? Well, I'll tell you what, maybe tonight I should start changing my fortune. Maybe, Vic, you're out of time!
Oh, holy shit!
He just headbutted the world champ, and here we go!
Oh!
Sandman Vic one more time!
And then he goes!
And now a clothesline to Sandman!
Holy shit!
Vicious
and Legs is breaking
clothesline.
it up! He's breaking it up!
So, warm up before the street fight. Victor Vicious later on in the night takes on Dragoon. And, as well as making some comments about, well, all the freaking things that he's been doing as of late.
Yeah, Sandman not afraid to speak his piece, as per usual. Although he did pull over with the tag team contention.
Yeah, because he, well, actually, we can get into that later on in the night.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, also what Sandman said, that Dragoon is the toughest guy in House Caliban, and we've seen how tough the creation is. So if he's any better than that, then Victor Vicious might have his work cut out for him this time.
That indeed. Although admittedly, we do have to keep in mind he is fresh off a partnership with Mr. Grimm, so if there's anyone who would know how to arm up against the House of Caliban, it would be that man.
Most definitely. But until then, we have one match to go. We have a few more things to go through, as especially earlier on in the night, Mad Jack made a mention of Otoro taking on Michael Macabre. And here we see Otoro Azul coming down to the ring representing AAA. And his opponent, Michael Macabre, came down in his other form. The don't fuck with us form. And I just wanted everyone to get a good look at this for those who have never seen it before. Look at this man.
Sweet son of a bitch! It's bones the whole way down!
Yeah, this is the reason why you don't fuck with Doom, ladies and gentlemen. They can just pull out stuff like this. It's just, look at that, lifting Otoro with ease.
No, absolutely frightening. I'm not surprised, frankly, after, I don't know, between you and me, I think just because El Toro is so big, the ref couldn't see Macabre's hand on the rope. Because he didn't have it on the bottom rope.
No, he didn't have him on the bottom, but like it was honestly just like a ref's mistake, but Doom took that as a slight against AAA, and well, here we have the Soul Reaver himself in his truest form.
Yeah. Man, there's something almost familiar about that. Just the way that he's. Is that bone? I mean, I guess it's just bone.
That is all bone, all of it, except for his hair. But yeah, that's all bone.
I mean, I did see a couple people arguing about whether that like just like armor and all that is legal. I mean, it's just part of the wrestler. So, I mean, it's fine.
I mean, this is what the jacket conceals. Like his jacket pant and pants combination. Yeah, this is. It conceals all of this. Apologies for the coughing, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Bones indeed.
Oof.
Just a lot of bones.
Speaking of which, Otaro just snapping the neck out of frickin' Macabre, just working on it too. Yikes. Ugh.
I mean, honestly, I can kind of see why he would want to. Maybe it's just more comfortable in the jacket because you don't have all those bones. Like I don't know. Because can he feel like he could probably feel when something rubs up against the horns and all that. That's probably not too comfortable.
What was probably also not too comfortable is this superplex.
That is true.
Crazy man.
True. Maybe he's made out of dragon bones or something. Just the sheer density of Macabre over here.
I wouldn't call Macabre dense by any stretch of the means, or else someone from Doom is probably going to come in here and talk to us. And let's not have that.
Dense. Well, by dense I mean clearly someone ran away with all the vitamin D.
Yeah, this is the picture perfect definition of what calcium can do for your diet, ladies and gentlemen. But just retching at the neck of Otaro, much like he did before. Much like Otaro did before. And just flipping him over. Working on the knees now. Oh, looks like he's setting up for something big. What is he got? Yep, here it comes. The Razor's Edge, aka the Soul Reaver. Another tribute to the fallen Scott Hall.
God, just the staggering power behind that slam.
And
He kicks out.
Kicks out at 2 from the Soul Reaver. And I mean, Jen Erickson and Rabbit are calling out for a Bosco 3. The ref heard they heard the slap, and I hope to God that Legs isn't working against Doom, because that's just gonna be bad for him in the future.
I mean, I'd rather we not have to replace the ref or any other personnel on the show. No, please, thank you.
Yeah, because giving people functional immortality is kind of expensive. Freaking Forrest showed me the finances on that. It is, you don't want to know.
I mean, what, do you gotta, sacrifice a leg and an arm? Pull out a goat?
Looks like
paint blood on your doorway?
The Soul Reaver, a.k.a. the Razor's Edge, hit onto Otaro. 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Michael Macabre. Also, yeah, you don't want to know, because that's the cost of it is literally all of our merch sales, and we sell a lot of merch.
I'm surprised El Toro is rolling up out of that, and looks like he's walking away without too much issue. I mean,
he's
thank God for him.
Bloody under the mask, and he's not. I mean, obviously.
No, he's not. No, but I mean, you came away with your life, man. So good for you.
But I guess that just goes to show, ladies and gentlemen, if you need another explanation of why thou shalt not fuck with Doom, the one and only commandment of Friday Night Flashbang, that's a good reasoning right there. But coming up next, we have the Mad World going up against Dungeons and Destinies. Dungeons and Destinies being the inaugural tag team champions. And here we have the Time Bandits attacking both MJ, well, I guess Kuso dressed as MJF, and the Madness before they got to the ring.
Just laying them out in front of the brothers, and they seem pretty confused about what's going on here. They don't... I don't know, they seem like, it's oh, okay, yeah, sure, thanks. What are you doing? just kind of telling them to get up and get ready.
I mean, most definitely. Yeah, Mad World wanted to continue, and that is what we are going to be doing. And here we have Kuso as MJF, just despite what CG thinks, that is actually Kuso. And here we see Kuso tagging in somebody invisible, and just tag, just a little trick, I guess, just tagging somebody, just dropping bareback right there.
I don't know what's going on with her. I think people started jumping insane. The ghosts again.
I mean, there was that one time Lionel Matrix tagged in Nortia, and thankfully, I think the ref looked away from that because he didn't.
Yeah, I saw that later. He was flipped into the air and thrown back onto the mat, just like nothing. I don't know what happened there.
I don't know what happened either, to be honest. But that suicide dropkick, though, trying to go into action surge, but MJF flips right on out of it. Also, seriously though, if you talk to the bad CG Ghost and he mentions otherwise, and he mentions this, don't believe him. That is actually Kuso Kale. He will be very adamant about it. And then here we have MJF, Kuso. I mean, I'm just going to say MJF because because she's in the costume. Just getting thrown into the frickin' post there. And you got bareback. He's just retching out the arm there. Might be setting up for the action surge once more. Lift her up. And then sets her down. Action surge. And then Madness breaks up the pinfall. Apologies, excuse me.
Who are you looking at for favorites for this match?
Personally speaking, I mean, Mad World being the tag champions, but haven't really seen Dungeons and Destinies tag in a hot minute. I kind of want to give it to Dungeons and Destinies, but I can't put my bets away from Mad World itself. They have been a very dominant tag team ever since Kuso revealed herself to be Kuso Kale. I mean,
True,
also since winning the tag titles.
True, and just generally putting out very good performances. It's always a treat to see them in the ring.
Action surge from the top rope, and they get them. Ladies and gentlemen, your winners, Dungeons and Destinies. The first tag team champions getting that win, albeit I would still put an asterisk on that because, well, with what happened with the Mad World before the match even started.
Right, that's probably gonna get the Time Bandits some stink eye a little later.
Yeah, I saw Menace post about that, and he was being very nice, saying, okay, hey, everybody, wait your turn while the Time Bandits get theirs. And then this happens. Madness ain't happy. And he's a very jovial individual. But, yeah, overall, what'd you think of the match?
I was just very pleased all around. Speaking of just strange phenomena aside, it's always been a treat, like I was saying, to see the Mad World in action, and very surprising show of force from Dungeons and Destiny over there.
Yeah, most
Definitely not to be underestimated.
Most definitely. I'd love to see them fight it out, like, full force, like when, Kuso in her Mandalorian armor, and as well as not, getting interrupted. And, yeah, so, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we have a match between Dragoon and Victor Vicious, the penultimate match before the main event. Dragoon representing House Caliban, and representing the Cartel, the World Heavyweight Champion, in another tribute to Scott Hall, Victor Vicious. coming out to his total nonstop action theme too, by the way.
Honestly, like, Victor gets a lot of heat, but that was very classy, in my opinion.
Yeah, I heard that that was one of the Scott Hall was one of the reasons why he wanted to become a wrestler in the first place.
Absolutely. Honestly, just a very respectful tribute.
Yep.
Despite everything else Victor has got going on for him.
Yeah, I mean he's got. I mean, I guess the new bad guy. This new bad guy has been making so many deals and plays behind the scenes.
Yeah. But, I mean, it seems like he at least lives by a certain perspective that you always pay your respects to those that came before, or especially those who have unfortunately come and gone.
Just Victor just laying it into Dragoon though.
Oh, absolutely. Victor, I mean, despite all these deals, very tough individual, not to be underestimated, and while underhanded, puts up a very strong show of force in the ring every single time.
Exactly, like he's been a very dominant champion so far. I mean, like he thinks that people are kind of getting to him and all that. I mean, yeah, what people have been saying hasn't been helping him at all. But when it comes down to it, no gimmicks, no muss, no fuss. He can dominate a match, and he can get that like really decisive victory. He just has a lot going on right now.
Absolutely. Although despite all that, Dragoon is also putting up a very strong show of resilience against the World Heavyweight Champ over here.
Yeah,
I don't know very much about Dragoon, personally speaking, but if he's proclaimed as one of the strongest, Victor's going to have a very tough time here.
Dragoon himself is a very mysterious individual. Not much is really known about him. He came in as a mercenary, and he mostly talks in riddles. He helped Sandman and Thunderbolt get back together as a tag team after, well, Sandman was rightfully angry with Thunderbolt by, well, leaving. With Thunderbolt leaving Sandman there to deal with the Empire of Terror. And vicious clothesline, setting him up for a cloverleaf sharpshooter looking deal. But yeah, so Dragoon is a man of many talents. A clear point is not one of them.
Well, I'm sure we'll see more of him in the future, because it's all hands on deck right now for House Caliban. They are going to need him.
Yeah, most definitely, especially with the Murder Cave and especially with the current ongoings with the Murder Cave heating up. I mean, we heard earlier on in the night, from the promo of the week itself, that Caliban has some very strong words for Grimm on Warzone, which we will be getting into later on in the night. And then here we have Dragoon tied up in the last rites, and he taps. Another one of those submissions that is devastating, ladies and gentlemen. And your winner, Victor Vicious. Another one for the bad guys. And here we see a show of respect from the world champion and Dragoon accepting. I'm not gonna lie, I thought Victor would have kicked him right in the dick at that point.
Yeah, no, absolutely, but it's just very sportsmanlike, very classy. I don't know. I mean, he's a very interesting character, Mr. Vicious, and it goes to show that despite all his underhanded dealings, he can very obviously cleanly win a match if he has to do so.
Exactly, like
Perhaps it's just more about his just choices in the matter.
excuse me. Yeah, like we said it before. Like he can go in the ring. He doesn't have to rely on such underhanded tactics to get the win. He can just do it himself. And this is just a good showing of it. But, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is your main event. Because of Brawl Kaiser and Hutch Kill being attacked previously in the night, this is your main event. AAA, El Pollo de la Muerte and Demolition Fox going up against the Mad Jack, the Pumpkin King Mad Jack, and Night Reaper Zeracus of Doom. Doom! These two not going out in their don't fuck with us forms. They are staying tame, so to speak. I think it's because Michael Macabre got his revenge, so to speak, and then they didn't have to worry about it.
Oh, yeah.
And then here we have Mad Jack and El Pollo going just toe-to-toe with each other. Two of the best light heavyweights that I think we actually have. Oh, tying up El Pollo in the Jack in the Box. Right on its mark. And just tagging in his partner Zeracus. For those who don't know, actually, Mad Jack and Zeracus were the original members of Doom when they were on Warzone. So yeah, just a little like for those who are new and haven't and thought that these three were a trio their entire careers.
I do remember hearing a bit about that when I was researching into some of the factions that we have across both Flashbang and Warzone.
Yeah, they used to be like bounty hunters for. I do apologize. Give me one moment. I swear these seasonal allergies are kicking my ass. Anyway, but yeah, they used to be bounty hunters for the a faction called the Inquisition there, who were issuing out open bounties for title shots.
Interesting. They were.
So yeah, like they ended up replacing the brass for a good period of time until members of the Warzone roster were able to drive them out, as well as Dr. Grimm killing Tomasi and Graves. But speaking of that death, I mean, one of their guys actually killed a wrestler named Taiku, whose heart is with the creation. So yeah, a little bit of history for y'all. And then here we have Demolition Fox is going to town on the Night Reaper, going in for a Canadian Destroyer. But yeah, Michael Macabre didn't join Doom's ranks until after, just a short after his debut in MNW. Nice little side headlock there.
I don't know. Maybe it just goes to show you that some matches are always kind of meant to be.
Oh yeah, like these three, like Michael Macabre joining Doom was like the perfect puzzle piece that just fit correctly with Mad Jack and Zeracus. Like these three work so well together. I mean, it's the reason why they've been the most dominant trios champions outside of Meme. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, God. Demolition Fox setting up Zeracus to do a powerbomb into the apron. The hardest part of the ring. Oh, just nice drop kick, too. And just resting, just retching at him in that crossface. Dragging Zeracus into the AAA corner. Pollo gets tagged right in. El Pollo de la Muerte, one of the most premier submission wrestlers that we have on Warzone. Not on Warzone. We're not doing Warzone. Here on Flashbang.
Okay, now I see you peeking over there in my notes. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah. Apologies. I'm just really excited about this announcement.
Oh, absolutely.
And speaking, I swear, poor Zeracus' neck, it just keeps getting wrenched on back. I mean, El Pollo's probably trying to weaken it so he can set it up for his crossface chicken wing. Oh, flowing over neck breaker. Looks like he was trying to go for something, but Zerkis lifts him up, trying to go into a power bomb, and Pollo fights on out of it. Oh, and dropped DDT. 1, 2, kicking right out of 2 thanks to Magic, and ref's down. Can't count to 3 if there's no ref. Oh, looks like he worked him right on the back. Crossface chicken wing applied, but there is no ref of it. There is no ref up. But he is tapping. Oh, and it looks like Legs caught it.
Yeah, he just caught the end of it at the... He must have heard the sound.
And here's the thing, though, like, if you watch it back, like, he released it just before the ref called for the tap out. So I mean, I understand that we have a title match between these three, but I think that we're gonna have another match to where freaking Magic and Zerkis come down in their alternate forms and clean up house, so to speak.
Just please don't kill the ref. That seems to always be the problem as far as Doom goes, where the ref either gets distracted or they get taken out, and it doesn't end out well for them. Not that they're really doing it on purpose. It's just like, get the blast zone, guys. Remember us. Us humans are a little squishy. Please don't kill us.
The refs being immortal don't help their cause when it comes to questionable calls like that. So, officially, and I will put a big asterisk on that, mostly because I don't want to piss off Doom today. A big asterisk on the winner is AAA. Outside of that, Faye, what'd you think of the match?
It's very good to see that the rest of the Doom was in action. Very soon after the match earlier on in the night. So it's very clear that they're cohesively just trying to settle the score, so to speak.
Yeah.
It didn't pan out well this time, but I don't think that that's going to be the end of that. And as you were saying, alternate forms, that will be a surprise if we ever see it.
Most definitely, but we will see that tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Friday Night Flashbang at twitch.tv/Edward Bosco. But before we get into the later segments, we have one more thing. The Flashbang Moment of the Week.
So now someone has gone and ruined my main event, a main event that was set into motion. And the problem is, I don't know who it is. I have an idea of a couple of people it might be, but no definitive footage, because when do the cameras ever work around here? So here's what we're going to do. Our main event will now be AAA versus Doom. And next week, if the person responsible for these attacks does not come forward, there will be hell to pay. There will be consequences, the likes of which you have never seen. So the choice is yours. Hide in the shadows, and I promise you, these punishments will be far-ranging, and they will encompass you whether I know who you are or not. Or step forward like someone with courage.
And that is your moment of the week, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I captured the announcement part of it, but Hutchkale and Brawl Kaiser being attacked in the middle at the beginning parts of the show. And Lawson going on a tirade, so to speak. But we also have a post here on social media from the Night Reaper Zerkis himself. These refs, what do they have against us? They must know we can see the pattern. I'll be keeping an eye on those refs. They will learn why we have the first commandments. Zerkis, it would behoove me to not mention about the whole, please don't mess with the backstage personnel. We don't want you or anybody else in Doom getting suspended.
Because that means then we can't show your matches, or admittedly, like, trying to get some of the footage has been a little tough because I don't know. Lawson seems to be of the opinion that, or at least from what I know of him, like he doesn't. Oh, he probably doesn't want to show footage or put people up on a pedestal, so to speak, if they're messing with how the show runs. Because he just wants to get the matches done at the end of the day, and I just personally, I just want to review them. I have to take these notes for you guys, so just please don't do anything that means I have to throw out all my notes.
Yeah, and that means that the title match would have to get delayed a bit, and we already have enough talks about champions ducking challengers. So let's please keep it civil, please. But that is,
Please?
but that is Friday Night Flashbang, and oh boy, we have an interesting call out for you guys this week. Travis sat down with. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This had to be one of the hardest interviews I have ever seen him actually attempt. So we are going to go ahead and throw it over to Travis. Travis, take it away.
Hello, everybody. My name is Travis, and welcome back to the Callout. Tonight, I have the third and final member of Honorbound. He's a little rough, all tough, and he's really got the dogs out. Today, I've got the Bulldog, Grant Martin. Grant, that's your cue. Come on in. Why isn't your theme playing? Wilson, what are you doing here? Where's Grant? Where's Grant?
Grant the Bulldog couldn't make it in today, so I decided to come in instead. I want an interview, Travis. That's not a problem, is it?
Every fiber of my being right now does not want you here. I don't want to do an interview. I do not feel comfortable around you. But I am a journalist. If you are here for an interview, and since Grant is not here right now, fine. I will interview you, Wilson.
Good. Now go on. You got to have some questions for me.
How are you?
I'm well, Travis. My recent strings of victimizations have really turned my life around for the better. I ache to return to them soon. Now, what else do you want to ask me?
Okay. You have been on a tear through the roster, Wilson. 4 straight wins, all done in brutal fashion. Is this, no offense, new change to your style? The wake-up call that you needed?
Oh, Travis. Yes, it is. This side of me was always present, always waiting. Glimpses of it have been allowed to peek through. But the fact of the matter is, the higher powers always wanted to keep it suppressed, keep it contained. They wanted their foolish comedic mid-carder who got humiliated every single week. I was like Prometheus, constantly getting my livers torn out. And when my liver grew back, it would be torn out again and again and again. But now I am unchained. I'm free. And I am angry. This has been a long time coming, Travis. And now everyone is going to suffer.
Okay. First question done. That's good. Your faction, VIP, they've always been at your side for years, Wilson. How has your new outlook on wrestling affected the team?
It's changed. Back then, VIP used to be more like a brotherhood. We loved each other, Travis. No matter how much it screwed us over, we loved each other. But that isn't the case anymore. VIP is becoming more aggressive. Because from what they've seen from me, they know that precise brutality is what gets the fucking job done. The constant parties, the bribing, the constant sticking our necks up for each other's shit, all done. VIP is a business, an organization. We aren't here to make friends. Especially not me. But just like me, VIP is slowly becoming the best version of itself.
I'm already in fucking neck deep. I might as well ask it. Wilson, what is your end goal? What are you trying to prove? If you're trying to prove that you're a hardcore champion contendership, you've certainly got the right to fight for the division. Hell, I bet you could take the title. But what do you want, Wilson?
Oh, I was hoping for this one. My end goal, Travis, is to cause suffering. I want the multiverse to feel hopeless and oppressive for everybody who steps into it. I want everybody to look towards gods and scream in despair when they don't find them. When they only find me, Wilson, atop the shattered corpses of the heroes, holding the Multiverse Heavyweight Championship above my head. Oh, that's right, the heavyweight title. The other belts in the multiverse have their own prestige, but the only thing that will truly bring me satisfaction is holding the most prestigious title of all professional wrestling. Oh, and if I take the title, the people of the multiverse will agonize for so long, and their screams, their crying will be music to my ears.
Oh god, he wants to be the world champion. Well, that makes sense. Fuck, everybody wants to be. Okay, with the pay-per-view coming up this weekend, you're in a match against Maximilian Thunderthighs. What are your thoughts on him, and what are you going to do to prepare? What are you going to do to him?
Again and again and again with this one. Maximilian is annoying. I've already fought him. I've already beaten him on numerous occasions, and the fact that everything I worked for is constantly loops back to fucking him. It's exhausting. It's excruciating. I wasn't even going to indulge him in his stupid match. However, Ozir Turan personally asked me to fight with him, because he knows I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. He knows that I'm going to leave a lasting impact mentally and physically, which is what Ozir wants from Max. He wants to punish Maximilian for his transgressions, and boy, he is going to get his. What am I going to do to him? What's going to happen at Future Shock will stay with him for the rest of his life. That I can promise.
I want this interview to be done and over with, but my morbid curiosity has gotten the better of me. So I'm going to just ask this question, and please, please don't hit me. You've explained your reasons to why you are victimizing people. Can you describe the feeling you get from this victimizing? What does it feel like?
Well, the feeling of victimizing is euphoric. You know the feelings of an ASMR. The feeling when you get a beautiful woman with a soft voice to whisper sweet nothings into your ear. That's the feeling I get when I hear the bones snap out of place. It gives me an overwhelming sensation, unlike anything else. Victimization to me has all the pleasures a man could ever want. Blood is an art, screams are the music, physicality is the gluttony. Suffering, overwhelming suffering, is my nirvana.
Jesus Christ, man. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say so we can end this call-out session? Please make it quick.
Oh, you have been a good sport, Travis. I'll leave you and the audience with this. Try to run. It won't save you.
Wilson has left, everybody. I don't know where he is. I don't know where he's going. But I don't feel safe. If you want to see Wilson, tune in on Saturdays at twitch.tv/Dr_Caliban. My name is Travis. Thank you from the call out. I need to go sit down.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the call out with Wilson. Excuse me, I need to send a quick text message to Travis. Faye, please talk to the people. I gotta check in on them.
It's very interesting seeing all this build up, and in regards to Wilson, I'm someone who, on the firing line side of things, I'm very new, and I'm unfamiliar with him, but this is a very... This is a man very driven by his desires and his own personal goals. There is a vendetta that he wants to see fulfilled. That's weird. I'm not sure. He reminds me of something. I can't tell you off the top of my head. But regardless, this is a very imposing man. And as Travis was saying, I absolutely believe that Wilson could be a serious competitor. Perhaps it helps him in a way that, as far as newer viewers tuning in, they just see a very driven man who wants to, fulfill his career with a belt. And I absolutely believe that he could get to that point. We'll just have to see, of course, after Future Shock, because he is slated to go up against Maximilian Thunderthighs, an individual he very much loathes, as it were, and it seems like VIP still wants to put Maximilian Thunderthighs under.
Brad is on his way with a basket of cookies, so please don't worry about it. Okay, sorry. Sent.
Alright, now everything okay over there?
Yeah, I just sent a pretty wordy message to Travis saying, "Hey, hope you're doing well." Blah 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 blah, and also Brad is meeting him with a basket of cookies that his
that's
girlfriend
sweet.
made. Yeah.
Alright, well, I hope Travis is alright and he's doing well.
But
a little concerning if Wilson actually does start going after everybody else.
It's just a bit concerning, yes. But we will get into that as we prepare for Future Shock. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your go-home show. Excuse me. For Future Shock, and we have a whole lot of stuff to go after with Warzone. We have Ginger Boy making his announcement of what stipulation he is going to go for the World Heavyweight Championship. We have Dr. Grimm and Dr. Caliban meeting face to face, and we have a message out on social media from Maximilian Thunderthighs. Wilson provoking the call out is low, even for you. Come Saturday, we end it just you and me. And I think we should just get right on into it. How about you, Faye?
No, I absolutely agree. Shall we get this started?
We shall. So, coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we have an in-ring promo, a bit of an announcement from HR.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Registered Anon, your human resources representative, and I got to tell you all, I'm very happy to be here. Things are going great. Human resources is in the strongest position it's ever been. We've got more manpower. Thank you, HR Sawyer. We'll talk later. But you know what? You know what human resources is all about? Equal opportunities. I mean, that's why I had to make that decision. Jerry Aldini was not giving equal opportunities to the outlaws. I mean, mercenaries gotta be mercenaries. But we gotta give other people opportunities. Equal opportunities. and I've been watching, and I've been taking notes. And you know who I've been taking notes on? Why, you, Bart Ender. You've not been good to the poor Power Surge. Overstepping on him, overshadowing him. We need to make things right, Bart. That is why you, Bart Ender, are scheduled for the main event. Ooh, how exciting. What an opportunity. And somebody else who needs a moment of single spotlight is going to be your opponent. It's so excited! But who could it be? Who could face the wrestling bartender in a main event? Well, it's not going to be Power Surge. He did his part. We'll talk Power Surge. You're going to get some opportunities. But who else? Well, can't play Trash Man Jones. Last I heard, he was in Nashville, Tennessee. I don't know why. Depth charge. You made your points, depth charge. No, he's not going to be a member of Nakama Worldwide. Get that look out of your face, Earl King West. It's going to be Big Papa Plutonium! Wait, what?
Bart Ender versus...
Bart Ender versus the Atomic Adonis?
The main man? Boy.
The Chernobyl Chad?
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have the main event of the show, the go-home show before Future Shock, and it is Bart Ender taking on Big Papa Plutonium, the Chernobyl Chad, the Atomic Adonis, the main man. As well as this graphic right here, ladies and gentlemen, announcing Uzra versus Kali.
Although, speaking of Future Shock, I got a little scrolled by in the Twitter line, and my apologies. We've got a message from one Theron Eldrazi saying, "Speaking of Future Shock, Shoot Nation, I hope you are ready to get shot."
Yeah, most definitely. Actually, let me pull that up really quick, though, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Yeah, we got the tag team titles being defended on this coming Saturday. The Outlaws going up against Shoot Nation. Now, if Shoot Nation beats the Outlaws cannot... The same stipulation still goes off. The Outlaws cannot go for another title opportunity until after Multivania, which is 4 months away. So yeah, it's a very interesting thing there. I mean, I think this is going to be the biggest match that the Shoot Nation has ever had. Outlaws themselves are, I want to say, 2 or 3 time tag team champions. I want to say 2, because the last couple of years that they've had those tag titles, they came into Multivania as champions, but unfortunately have not left Multivania as champions. Or fortunately, it depends on who you ask.
Well, I'm sure that'll be clarified probably by the end of the Warzone segment of things.
Yeah, hope. Sorry, just giving Phyllis a message.
All right, excellent.
All right, sorry. She was asking me about. She was letting me know that Brad delivered the thing to Travis, and again, Travis, we hope you are doing well.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we have a tag team match scheduled for one fall. We got the Absolute Units, Force the Fortress Wade, and TJ the Mint Gable going up against Ignacio Cervantes and Defunk of Cloud9.
Getting right into it here. This is a very interesting match, although admittedly I did come in towards the end of it.
It is a tag match. It's Force the Fortress.
Yeah, this was an interesting one, to say the least.
Absolute Units versus
Very.
Grandmaster Funk and Ignacio Cervantes.
And then here we have
with
Force the Fortress just working on Ignacio on the outside. Count of 2 from the count. Ooh, that sucker punch and just taking him down.
Fair enough.
I swear, I think Force the Fortress this time of year is at his most powerful because it is tax season. He's gotten a lot of he's gotten a lot of work as of late.
The leg over the weirdly shaped head of Ignacio Cervantes.
Count of 5 from the ref. I'm sorry, you were saying?
It's just the work being put on me these two. Oh, thank you for the spotlight, production.
Yeah, they do a good job at over on Warzone. Count of 8 from the ref.
Oh, get back to the ring.
Count of 9.
No.
Don't tell me.
Galaxy Brain Strats, ladies and gentlemen. Your winners, TJ the Mint Gable and Forrest the Fortress Wade, the Absolute Units.
Yeah, so when I was saying I came in a bit late, that's what I meant. I showed up maybe 10 seconds before that happened, which, I mean, that is a strategy. It is a legitimate strategy, so I'm not going to fault them for that.
Is it though?
I mean...
Is it though?
Does he have to pick him up? I don't know.
Like, there's honor in a pinfall and a tap out. I mean, hell, even a knockout. But I mean, I get that the C101 has showed us that sometimes a count out victory outside the ring can pretty much add to the match. But honestly speaking, I personally don't. In that case, I don't like it whatsoever. I would say what you think of the match since you saw it in full.
Yeah, unfortunately, but we didn't get to see as much of them as we wanted. Because Cloud9 has been slowly gathering some numbers and slowly working out their complete niche and their skill as far as across the roster is concerned. And then the Absolute Units who've been around for a while, I mean, have proven that they're not to be underestimated.
Oh, most definitely. But I mean, I would definitely put the Absolute Units in for tag contention if the Outlaws don't if the Outlaws or Shoot Nation pick up the victory, honestly speaking. Anyway, but ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is your Warzone promo of the week. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't really give this too much hype, but we're just going to have to let this individual speak for themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, Alpha Kong.
¿Qué pasó, my people? I came out here to take a look, perhaps a last look, perhaps a final gaze into the audience who has cheered for me, who has helped me along, who has given me their energy, their support, and their love for years and years. So allow me to drink it in for just a moment before I say what I have to say. And what I have to say, I love you all. I have loved what I've done in the ring. I have loved my competitors as well as my friends. I have put everything that I am, that I had, that I will ever have into this business, into this ring, and into La Familia. And I think it's time to unclasp the mask, unwrap the tape, and hang up the tights. But not before one last ride, one last match, one last time to hear my heart pounding in my chest, one last time to hear my body and my opponent's body hit the canvas, one last time to climb to those top ropes and feel the energy of the crowd, hear the people scream, and feel alive. And my opponent for that will be my apprentice, Whitney Lee.
Well, there you've heard it, folks.
So there was some interesting chatter on social media about why this was the promo of the week. Yes, this wasn't an audio promo. Yes, this was something that happened in the ring, during the show. But the reason why we put this as the promo of the week is because we have one of the longest known names in MNW, an original member of the Omega Club, a multiple-time tag team champion. I mean, and the inaugural trios champion as well. So his retirement speech and his match after Future Shock. So next Saturday against Whitney Lee. That is why this is the promo of the week. So sorry about the rant, ladies and gentlemen. I just had to get that out there. Alrighty, so I'm sorry.
Just an outcry of support, generally speaking. There was a lot of a lot of old faces. There's some very surprising voices actually. Even Johan Yon, all the way over from Flashbang, was giving some very fine remarks in regards to the career.
Wait, hang on, he did?
Yeah, something about how Alpha Kong showed him that this just showed him the Nexus, generally speaking. Just showed him the ring.
Huh.
Maybe just pointed him in the direction of the shows, which, I mean, when you have such a very long career like that, you are going to just you'd be surprised the amount of connections that can make, and that's a very wonderful thing in my opinion.
Yeah, it's very nice that Alpha touched so many people. I mean, I did see a couple on social media that were, especially one from Nice Eyes, about how Alpha was the first one to treat him not as a stereotype, and that warmed my heart, honestly. But, ladies and gentlemen, we still have a whole lot more show to go to and announcements to go after the show. So we shall get right on into it. We have coming up next Pupusa Pi going up against the Beef of VIP. And Pupusa coming right on back after his worst, after coming in with Maximilian Thunder Thighs and going right after the Beef for attacking Sparrow of the Sentinels.
And especially after Papusa Monkey himself being put in the hospital in regards to the Canadian Mounties being called, being alerted in regards to VIP's activity. And people have been wondering for so long, who was it that called the Mounties? Was it Papusa? Was it Sparrow? They have had zero, concrete leads so far, and it will be very interesting to see that truth uncovered.
Well, they said it was a masked vigilante, and yeah, we have Mr. Enigma coming down to the ring. Looks like distracting the Beef, and the main theory is that Enigma is Papusa's mystery partner. Which, not gonna lie, that's very on the nose for Enigma.
He looks like he could be in a superhero noir film. That Enigma, doesn't he?
Yeah. I see that.
Yeah, he gives me that kind of energy. So I guess in its own way it makes sense. Although admittedly, we have not had any factual confirmation either from VIP or Papusa or Mr. Enigma himself in regards to the actuality of whether Enigma was the mystery partner.
I'm just going to let you know, we're probably never going to hear anything from Enigma. He doesn't talk.
Yeah, he talked once, and then he never spoke again, yes.
I interviewed Mr. Enigma, and I had to bring in my buddy JC to narrate the actions that were recorded.
Very interesting, yes.
Very interesting, yes. So, here we have the Beef and Papusa still going at it. Looks like the Beef is not slowing down after the run, after getting distracted from Enigma.
Thankfully, Enigma over there, he just hasn't decided to intervene. He's just letting the two duke it out. I do wonder, admittedly, what's behind that mask. Do you think he's got eyes under there? Or do you think that's just him?
I hope so. I hope he has eyes. I understand that people see through magic and whatnot, looking at you storytellers, but I mean, I'm kind of hoping that there's something that helps him see. But, I mean, a lot of people have been speculating that a certain MVP is under the mask, and I can understand where it's coming from, especially because it's the same kind of body type, but this one's a bit more muscular, at least in the chest area, than Bosco ever was. I think it's just because of, like, this, same kind of build, same kind of, like, style. I mean, Bosco, too, was a submission-based wrestler. Granted, I think he he was a sharpshooter kind of guy, where Enigma's a figure four kind of individual.
Right. They don't. They also don't kind of carry the same energy as Bosco, at least from what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, Bosco would have.
Admittedly, not a lot, but yeah.
But yeah, Bosco would have revealed himself at this point. Also, the post on social media, no, because this is an official MNW sanctioned show. We don't gotta pay crap. That is for everybody else who has to use the copyright. Oof. And believe me, that fee is steep. Anyway, so we got Papusa just working on beef on the outside as we're just sitting here ranting and just really laying it on into him. Oh, excuse me, just one moment. Yeah, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Had to hack up a lung again. But, no. Believe me, like, we saw a very popular copyrights lawyer. We don't have to pay crap. Anyway, so another. Sorry, every time we go on a tangent, Papusa just takes control of the match, even though the Beefling was just laying on into Papusa.
Absolutely. We have seen that he's a very capable individual, especially with how boldly and very shortly after the hospitalization, he made a very full recovery, appearing up on the ramp and revealing himself alongside Maximilian Thunderthighs, who has been going up against VIP, the Beef, Austere, everyone in that faction. And the Beef taps out. Papusa Monkey is your winner.
And Papusa locking up the Beefling. And joining him in the ring, just enjoying the victory in itself. Papusa, you deserve this win, sir. Especially after being on being in the hospital for so long. So yeah, overall, Faye, what did you think of the match?
It was very interesting reveal, and I'm very happy to see that Papusa is back in fighting form, especially up against everything that's going up on the Warzone side of things.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like, I cannot wait to see what comes up. Like, I can't wait to see what this pairing of Nigma and Papusa brings to the show in itself. But we're not going to really know really too much about that until after Future Shock, because Future Shock's a pretty stacked card. I am not looking forward to editing that, but it's going to be a better show.
That's okay. I'll help out where I can. Admittedly, I don't know too much of the editing know-how, but I'll at least help get everything sorted and organized to more easily just feed it through.
And I thank you for that. So, coming up next, though, ladies and gentlemen, we have we have the other announcement of Caliban talking to reaching out to a former friend. So, we will go back down to the ring to hear from Dr. Caliban.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to introduce myself for those who may not recognize me. I am Dr. Vincent Vladimir Caliban, MD, PhD, MAD. And as the leader of the House of Caliban, I have many duties. But I have greater duties as a man of science. And I know what everyone's thinking. Last week, when the creation came out to face the Allfather, it was merely payback for all the wrongs that Arkoff has committed against us. But no, it was also a scientific inquiry. I needed information. And that is why I brought that object, my quantum analyzer. It's not an urn, it's a piece of delicate scientific equipment. And I learned some very, very important things. So I'm now going to ask my old friend, my fellow scientist, Dr. Victor Grimm. Victor, would you join me down here? We have something we have to discuss. Here comes Dr. Grimm. Dr. Grimm's been, for a man we don't see much, he's been really active. Apparently he's Hello, Vincent. How good to see you. I expected this. So, I suppose this has nothing to do with the cartel matter. That's just a little sideline. But I have a suspicion I know what you're about to ask. What with you analyzing... Of course, you do know, Victor, very well what I'm about to bring up. I know what you've done. You fool! We have been seeking the secrets of the Nexus. We are so close. And you had to go and make that abomination. I read the energy signatures on Arkoff. How could you, you fool? You know full well how I could. I need to not just endeavor for scientific dominance, but overall dominance. And I had all that beautiful information from my time with the Warpgate Hardcore Championship, working with the Murder Cave, and you are willing to create another multiversal crisis. You know what happens if that thing goes off prematurely. You remember Lucha Underground, you fool. You will destroy us all. I cannot allow it to happen. I won't allow it to happen. I challenge you to a match. Oh, you challenge me to a match? Vincent, you're not a wrestler, but I think I see where you're going with this. Fine, let's have a match. How about this? Your house, your sons and their monoocular compatriot versus the Murder Kid. Done. And if we win, you give the device over to me for dismantling. It is too dangerous. You will destroy the multiverse. So yes, my sons and Sandman versus 3 members of the Murder Cave at Future Shock. Done. But when the Murder Cave wins, Vincent, I have a very simple requirement. That you leave Warzone and that no member of the House of Caliban ever darkens this ring again. Not for helping anyone medically, not for inquiries, never. Very well. That is a fair, just request in the light of what we have to deal with. If we win, you give me the device. If you win, you will never see me again. That I can agree to. How could you, you madman? Well, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black, Vincent, you hold yourself so high and mighty as if you're so moral, Mr. Proper Villain. I know what you've done. I know your history. Your hands are no cleaner than mine. And we will see next week. Well then.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Murder Cave going up against House Caliban. Arkoff, Chaz, and Dr. Grimm take on the Creation, the Sandman, and Thunderbolt. Something Thunderbolt. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this one's woof.
This one's gonna be I mean, if the multiverse is at stake, I mean, a lot of what they said kind of went over my head personally. I don't know how to feel about this one. I just hope they do something, you know, just like maybe like settle the score a little bit so it doesn't go out into like full blown war across like the rosters, you know.
Yeah. Especially because Caliban said the special word, like the magic word. Remember Lucha Underground, you fool. Not that I'm calling Grim a fool. I will call him a rat bastard snake, but that's for personal reasons. But I swear to God. Anyway, but that is not. But that is for other. That's for like another reason. But honestly speaking, House Caliban are going to be in for the fight of their lives. You got two former world champions in Arkoff and Chaz Lee, as well as Dr. Grimm, who is a multiple-time hardcore champion and literally the smartest man in this match as of this card.
No, absolutely. And Chazley, I'm sure, absolutely wants payback against the House of Caliban for that attack that the creation committed, which kind of helped spiral things down this path. It's going to be very interesting seeing all three of them together. Now I'm just kind of getting flashbacks back to the last Multiverse.
Yeah, a little bit the same. Also, I see it. I'm not going to say anything about it. We're just going to go into our next match. We're going to go into a match between Exar and Carnival. Here we see Exar coming down to the ring. But no music. What's it? There's the sound.
Yeah, it's a very quiet, very subtle melody that
Wait a minute.
Exar likes to
The ring
set
announcer
off
isn't
with,
had a chance to
interesting
speak yet.
Oh,
It's Gorm!
okay. And Gorm said no. Gorm said,
Gorm just attacked
I'm
Exar
getting
Kun
the
with a
mallet.
sledgehammer.
And
Oh my God.
by disqualification,
Gorm have been
Exar
fighting
Kun
backstage.
wins that match, but it's so as it turns out,
That was like the second match.
they kind of just dragged each other backstage and they were fighting for probably about an hour before we actually got camera crew down there. Everyone was busy clearing out. I had to run. I'll be honest. Like, I didn't want any part of that. Didn't want any part of it.
And Exar Kun, they've
Yeah,
been fighting
like we had this.
since
Technically
they
speaking,
ran
this happened
backstage,
later
and I
on
guess
in the
they finally
match.
got into the common area.
Sorry, gotta turn this down a little bit. This technically happened. This happened later on in the night, but we figured with the running interference and the backroom brawl, we may as well just lump these in together. Honestly, save some time and effort on both of our ends.
Oh, I don't even want to think about it. Oh, poor Mr. Manatee. He worked so hard.
And
Absolutely not a match to miss. It's unfortunate we're not going to see Gorm going up against Carnival, but it's good to see the big man back in action. Although, admittedly, it's going to be interesting to see how if Exarch gets the best of him in here, because, like I was saying, they had been fighting for about maybe an hour by the time Aldini and the rest of commentary were alerted to the fact and got some cameras down there.
yeah, most definitely. Like, granted, Gorm, I've seen this man fight out on the outside the ring. This man is nothing to mess with when he's outside the ropes. He is terrifying beyond belief. I can bet a lot on that. And here we have Exar getting driven into the. Well, hey Paul, how's it going, bud?
Hey, Paul. He's just minding his business.
Yeah, minding his own business. He's like, you know what? I don't have time for this. One of the brass members, Paul, from New Hampshire, nice guy.
Yeah, very cool head. Which that has been a bit of a relief, admittedly, back here. Oh no, not the ficus.
Oh,
Leave that plant alone.
it's fake.
And now you got Sith blood all over the office. No.
You'd be surprised how much blood that we actually have around here.
Yeah, it's not sanitary. I'm not calling anyone out specific, but it's just not sanitary, and we're gonna slip in it.
I mean, it's fair enough, but like, the janitor does a very good job at cleaning it up, though. He's very efficient. And then just Exar taking a briefcase and smacking it against the stone-like head of Gorm. Yikes. Yeesh. Anyway, let's see here. And then just that elbow drop straight onto Gorm's face. I mean, I understand that Gorm was trying to protect his tag team partner, Carnival, but I still would have just let... I honestly still just would have let Carnival do the fighting for himself, but... Well, you know how we all know how protective Gorm is of the bloodline. Not the bloodline, the Conquest bloodline.
Absolutely. I remember. Wow. Yeah, no. You see right there, right out of the steel briefcase. I believe it was Semjax who actually spoke with one Mega Blitz a couple weeks back. Mentioned how Gorm would love to get a piece of the Henshin Man later. After to repay that one loss. So it seems like Gorm is just happy enough to take it to anyone who gets near the bloodline.
Yeah, and well, Exar, he's feeding off of that anger. He's oh hey, one of the new prospects next to Renee, not Renee Dupree. I can't remember. It's Renee something. I can't remember her name. Nice lady, by the way.
Recording a chair shot of all things onto Gorm before getting out of there. Yeah, probably for the best.
It's not the craziest thing that she's ever seen. Like, believe me, I've seen who her husband is. Not the first time. Anyway, so it looks like Exar dropping more elbows. And we got something from the bloodline, from the Conquest Bloodlines' lawyer. No, Gorm is loyal to my client's faction. He just saw the Sith Lord and has a magical licorice.
Oh, so what kind of magical licorice? Like probably black.
Wait, there's other colors of licorice? Like I know red vines and like other kinds of like things are a thing.
Yeah, there's red vines and then there's the wrong vines, aka black licorice.
Very true. Oh, just throwing up against that freaking doorway. God. See, remember when I said get Gorm outside the ring and he's lethal? This is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Look how busted and bloody Exar is, and yet Exar is just kicking right back up and saying, and pretty much telling him to bring it. God. Freaking resiliency of Exar-kun, I swear to God. It always astounds me. Like, especially, like, back in 2019, where Exar and Daggerick had a 45-minute brawl for the Hardcore Championship that I think Daggerick got the better of. I want to say he did.
Yeah, I think Gorm has got the upper hand here.
Absolutely, and I recall someone mentioning that the members of the New Republic, such as Sir McCheese and the Janitor, had faced off against Exar a couple times or so. So he's a very old face, and it makes sense that he's providing a mentorship onto Kane here.
Yeah, and we all know Kane going up against the Mistress of Corruption, the main event mistress, Lady Boots, for the Nexus Titan Championship. And this was supposed to be a prelude for it, and yet here we are as a sign of brutality from the... Oh, God, the big boot pushing him back. Yikes.
And your backstage brawl winner over here, Mr. Gorm of Conquest Bloodline, putting one over on Exar-kun.
If it didn't end after freaking Exar got shoved like 15 feet back by the boots, I don't know what would.
I passed by that hallway the other day. There's still some cracks in the concrete there. They haven't gotten to fill them up yet. Having a bit of trouble there.
Yeah, I don't argue. I'm not gonna say anything about that because I know all too well. Anyway, so many broken cars. Anyway, so yeah, ladies and gentlemen, like we mentioned earlier, Kane takes on Lady Boots for the Nexus Titan Champion this coming Saturday. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, this is definitely going to be one of the better matches on the card. Kane, the master of 8,602 moves, against the Lady of Conquest herself. Oh, God. I'm just imagining spots right now, and it is fantastic. I'm imagining counters upon counters. Oh, I can't wait, honestly.
Cannot miss it. This Saturday, everybody. We've got plenty of other matches, though, to cover.
Yeah, that we do. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, though, we got not a match, but we still have to go in ring to hear from Mick Morgan.
Oi! Alright, listen up, you lot. I've got something to get off my chest. So first off, last week, Iron Man table match. Oi, that was a time, wasn't it? I told you, Daggerick, I want a fight. That was what I was after, and that's what I got. Good on you, mate. I don't even feel bad about losing after a fight like that. That's the violence I was looking for. So congratulations. I hope you find a good, worthy opponent for your next title defense. But in the meantime, I got something else I need to get off my chest. Something just sticking in my craw from that match. You all saw it. I bet you can all guess what I'm about to bring up. Yeah. Well, here it is, folks. I think we all know what my beef is, and it's not the beef. The bloody get 'em glad Papusa kicked your arse. It's the tables. Now, that one table not breaking, it was in a weird position. And sometimes tables just don't break. So that was odd, but not outside of the realm of possibility. But then there was that other table. You remember that table? I had it all nicely lined up. I had Daggerick in a back suplex. I was holding it for a moment for dramatic effect, and I went to drop him. And the bloody table moved! By itself, it teleported from one spot to another, and I couldn't hit it. Now, given Daggerick got enough points, he probably was going to win anyway. I'm not holding this against Daggerick. He did a great job. And I also know he don't use magic. But someone did. Someone did some kind of fuckery. And I want to know who. So I have gotten out my paybook. Yeah. Getting into the grouch bag. And I was hiring the Jackson investigation firm to look into what the hell happened. So whoever did it, GIF's coming for you.
You would have been better off hiring a border collie to sniff it out.
So, Mick Morgan is hiring the Jackson Investigation Force to look into the tale of the moving table. Sorry, the mystery of the moving table. As well as, we forgot to show this graphic earlier, but here is Wilson taking on Maximilian Thunder Thighs on Saturday at Future Shock.
Can't miss it.
You can't miss it. Honestly speaking, though, I should have shown this after the beef. If I'm being completely honest. But who do you think is behind the freaking table moving, though?
I honestly, like, anything could have happened there. I'm not saying someone casted a spell or replaced all the tables with mimics. Here's a suggestion. Maybe a couple more TLC matches and you'll slowly eliminate all the tables that are magical. You know, just put a couple people through the tables, you know. You guys are a lot sturdier than the actual tables are. So, if you just do that enough, maybe they'll just go away. They'll get the hint that they're on their last legs, so to speak.
Huh. That's a good point. Just eliminate all the tables, and then we won't have any left. Oh, man, that means we have to get rid of the table match. Problems for later. But, ladies and gentlemen, they are going to be working on that as we go into our next match. We have Injustice Jake, the Merc for Hire, going up against... Going up against HR Sawyer. This one, So this one happened after H.R. Sawyer stopped Injustice Jake from coming in and interrupting a match that he was hired for. Which
Yes. So what? So as a first clarification for those who hadn't watched that particular show, it was towards the it was for the Big Oof title championship, which we had Storyteller facing off against Juan Chance and Raphael Sampson. Raphael requesting that match so that they could all have a fair shot. The Outlaws ran in towards the end of the match and were starting to wreak havoc. So Jerry called in Injustice Jake. He had hired Injustice Jake actually to help take care of some of the security back in the ring because, I mean, up until that point, VIP had been making a bit of a mess. And things have generally been getting out of control. Sawyer over here just showing off and doing some push-ups. At least HR isn't getting his mood down, so to say. But yeah, Injustice Jake had been rightfully hired by Jerry to handle the issue, and H.R. Sawyer was sent out to put him down and stop the Outlaws from interfering. So HR, either because they didn't want Injustice Jake interfering with the Outlaws specifically, or they didn't want anyone interfering. It seems to be more of the former, because Anon from HR has been saying that the Outlaws deserve their shot, and because they're mercenaries. I mean, I don't know. The semantics of it all, it hurts my head a little bit. I just have to hope for the best that this gets resolved, because HR having this much power is not really a good thing.
Well, because like to me, it's also kind of weird because like, wouldn't that mean that Sawyer interrupted a mercenary trying to do the job that he was hired for? When Anon went right to Caliban and said the exact same thing, and that's why he was essentially shit. Not Caliban, Aldini. I am losing it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, Anon went to Aldini and said, no, they were doing a job. You shouldn't have done that. And then H.R. Sawyer gets called in and takes out a mercenary who got hired for a job.
I mean, as long as they don't actually start taking out security around the show, I don't mind, because we're gonna have some problems if we don't have anyone protecting the backstage crew. That's a very fast way to make sure your matches don't get shown for everybody.
Wait, there's security for Warzone?
Yeah, just a little bit. But I think they're all are starting to get run off, to be honest, with everything going on.
Oh my god, this is gonna run somebody off. Pile driver onto the outside. Jeez. Jake, you mad lad.
Well, a mercenary knows how to get the job done, as it were.
That he does. And then just throws
and
Sawyer.
over the barricade over there. Oh, please don't go out into the crowd. Thank you.
Jesus. And here we have Justice Jake and Sawyer still fighting on the outside. And wait, is Jake busted open? Ooh.
I believe so, unless that's red paint from Sawyer.
I assume blood. Because Sawyer's very particular about his colored dye. Well, not dye. His trimmings on his on his outfits and whatnot, and it doesn't sound like Sawyer to get something made or make something that would run off on somebody, you know?
True. It looks like it's just more red threads and LEDs in him. I'm just taking a little pose over there in the corner real quick.
Okay, we got a tweet out on social media. Jake was hired by Aldini, such is a representative of Aldini. The problem was Aldini was interfering with the Outlaws' mercenary work, so that would counteract it. Okay. Interesting take, thank you. That actually makes sense. Never mind.
Since, as far as we know, the Outlaws weren't hired by Aldini or the Brass, and I don't believe they would have been. Which, I don't know who would have hired them.
I don't know why Aldini would hire two individuals who he actively despises.
Kick to the side of the head over there. Oh, and Sawyer, although, does kick out. And not to be easily put down like that.
Most definitely. It looks like Justice Jake is getting... Sorry, Injustice Jake. I'm used to the other way around. Setting up for the Otaku Slam. 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Injustice Jake. And I believe this is his first win coming off of his re-debut, so to speak. And you mentioned, well, we'll get into this graphic here in a moment, but yeah, what'd you think about the match?
Sawyer is very clearly out and ready to get the job done. He's not going to be pulling punches, as it seems, as far as his HR work is concerned. Probably because he just wants to get the job over and done with, and he doesn't want to perhaps be held back or held any longer than he needs to be. Although Jake himself, very experienced as far as mercenary work is concerned, does pull the win over. I don't see much from Injustice Jake personally, but it's very good to see that he's kept up in shape with himself.
Yeah, most definitely. Like it was nice. Although seeing him in this way, it's been interesting to say the least. At least in my opinion. I mean, excuse me, the freaking allergies again. It's been interesting mostly because of like how he was before all of this, you know.
I don't know his history that personally. I just kind of know some of the actual work that he's gotten for himself.
I mean, well, Injustice Jake was originally known as Justice Jake, as well as the original and inaugural member of High Voltage, him and Chaz Lee, before Chaz Lee split from them to form the Murder Cave. And I'm putting that.
Oh, okay. So that is him. Okay, I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to assume it was like an evil twin or something like that.
No, that's actually Jake.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that makes a lot more sense then. Yes.
Nah, but yeah. So I could go on and on and on and on about Jake's history in MNW, but with that that would take longer than what we actually have. So we're just going to go and mention this. Because you mentioned the storyteller, his like Injustice Jake getting hired for the storyteller's Big Oof Championship win, but we also have Sir McCheese taking on the storyteller at Future Shock this coming Saturday. And what is the Gouda Boy going to do to wrestle away the title from the mystery that is the storyteller?
Absolutely. This Gouda Boy, he's on a quest, and he has the notable backing of former champion, the Janitor, both members of the Republic. The other week, we witnessed a very heartfelt, not so much a confrontation, but more so an agreement in the ring that Janitor would be helping Sir McCheese on this quest of his with as much support as he possibly could offer, and you love to see it. You love to see the boy in the ring, especially because this isn't even his first title champion match. He formerly went up against Lady Boots for the Nexus championship several months back, and I'm rooting for the man. I want to see Sir McCheese with gold, and I can't think of a better one, any better belt than the Goof.
I will also mention that he was a former Money in the Bank holder, albeit a very unsuccessful cash-in. unfortunately. But
Well, we've got quite the history, and we've got quite the matchup. Looking forward to it. I'm admittedly looking forward to this one as much as almost more than some of the other matches we got going on. But we'll announce those and we'll get into those a bit more later in the show.
most definitely. But coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Beowulf, going up against Suplex Sam of VIP. I'm going to need to cut these entrances a little bit more, but you know what? So this came out, so I believe this came about because Suplex Sam he's trying to get into the hardcore division as well as Beowulf himself. Both individuals were showing a lot of prowess when it to Daggerick, but not exactly what he was looking for in a challenger. That challenge going to McMorgan. But these two were just ready to show what they got, and then, well, pretty much getting into a bit of a tiff with each other, to say the least.
Absolutely. The previous week, we witnessed Suplex Sam challenging Beowulf to a hardcore match, the stipulations of which being that Suplex Sam would not use a single weapon, as we've seen so far. He's been pretty much following up to that promise, just wanting to get a good old clean win. A very interesting thing for a member of VIP.
Yeah, that is very interesting. A member of VIP going with their word. Granted, we heard from Wilson that they're trying to turn over. Okay, turning over a new leaf is not accurate.
They are all business at this point. Less of the parties, less of the show, more of the
Violence.
getting work done. Yeah, more violence, more work getting done.
So, it's not a change of pace, but they have something to prove now. Especially when it comes to, like, they're not as their notoriety has arguably gone down a little bit. But here we have Bale just laying Suplex Sam out. Got stairs, kendo sticks. Is that a bat over there?
Yes, that is indeed. I believe that's a metal bat, actually.
Oh, God. Ugh. I don't have to... Although, I'm not going to lie, I got hit with one of those and I got hit with a wiffle ball bat. I'm not going to lie, I prefer the metal one.
Mm-hmm.
Wiffle one stung a
I
bit more.
would... Yeah, not to be underestimated. Suplex Sam, I don't know, looks like he's clearing up the ring a little bit.
Yeah, he doesn't want to... Like, if he's... Oh, looks like he was trying to go for that bat, but drops it. I mean, he probably doesn't want to have any kind of misunderstandings or kind of any kind of screwy things happen. Oh, what the hell? Was that green mist?
I'm not sure there. I was admittedly... Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, yeah, no, you're right. I just watched the playback. That was a little nasty. Okay.
Like, I had to run and use the, when this was going live, I had to run and use the, Rushman. I guess I missed it when I was editing. I did not realize he hit Beowulf with a green mist. Although, now that I say that, would that work with Beowulf's mask? But that really do too much?
I mean, it still stinks, probably. I'm not sure. I don't know what that was.
Well, it's mostly used for, like, blinding or disrupting your targets. Sam Plex onto Beowulf, and a 3 count. Your winner, having technically not used a weapon, is Beowulf. Is Suplex Sam. Sorry, I'm used to saying it. Your winner's Beowulf whenever he's in a match.
A very interesting, very clean win in regards to that match. I mean, he did live up to the promise as far as the hardcore challenge was concerned. Other than the greenness, I don't know what that was.
I don't even know if you would consider that a weapon, if I'm being completely honest. Like, that's one of those gray area things that we're going to have to talk to the brass about, honestly speaking. And looks like okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm getting a page that we got someone.
Yeah, thank you, Phyllis. Give us some moments. Give me a... Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta work with, make sure that the image recognition thing is working. And all right. Hello, MNW Firing Line.
Hello there, Mr. Joe Mojo.
Oh,
And Faye, was it?
Yes, hello, Faye Jinn. I'm the new co-host alongside Mr. Joe.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
so Beowulf. Coming off of that match this past Saturday, how are you feeling?
Well, and this goes for anyone that might be worried. I talked with my personal apothecary. I am fine. I don't know what the hell that was that Sam spewed at me, or the natural secretion, as Mr. Montoya likes to call it.
That just sounds nasty. Like, okay, I have to ask this mostly because of your typical ring attire. Did that really do too much with you wearing the mask?
It, if you look closely, my mask has slits on it to help me breathe through, and it went through that. As for the rest of the mask itself, it's relatively undamaged. Just have to wipe it off a little bit. Although, I need to say, I didn't think it was possible to somehow still use underhanded tactics in a hardcore match. Yet here we are, VIP, still doing the same old that they've been doing for gods know how many years.
I can't deny it, honestly, but like, I hate to play devil's advocate. That's more of my another co-host of mine's job, but he would be remiss if I didn't mention this. Technically, the match was no disqualifications, and he did say he wasn't going to use a weapon. Now, whether or not the green mist is a weapon is where I will play fair and say, I don't know personally. That's something we're going to have to talk to the brass about.
Whatever. What's done is done, and Sam, if you just so happen to be seeing this, I will see you again very soon.
All right, well, with that all being said and done, is there anything that you would like to tell the Firing Line audience?
Enjoy Future Shock. That's all I can say. It's been about a year now since my ever so glorious debut, and from what I hear, our very own Mr. Montoya is debuting on Future Shock, is he not?
That
Absolutely. He is slated to go up against Mr. Jerry Aldini himself in the ring, which I don't know who's going to be commentating that. That's going to be a very interesting one to keep an eye on.
Well, to Mr. Montoya, good luck on your debut match, and Mr. Aldini, it's a pleasure to see you in the ring again.
That will be a sight, actually. But yeah, so with all due respect, Beowulf, we do have to go on, and we will have to disconnect this call.
All right, have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend himself is Beowulf.
Very polite individual.
Oh yeah, very polite. I mean, I honestly wish that other Scandinavian-based people were a bit more polite, as polite as him. But that's me. That's just me. That's just my wishful thinking on that one. Yes, I'm looking at you. Anyway, coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we have an announcement that will set the table for Future Shock in itself as well. We have an announcement from the #1 contender for the MNW Heavyweight Championship, Ginger Boy.
Well. With the three kings victorious, I have a bit of a decision to make. in front of all you people, I have a bit of an announcement to make right now. And first off, this match does not have the ordinary stipulations, but immediately I'd like to say that it will be in a steel cage. And second off, if I'm going to wrestle the champ, I want to wrestle him on every merit he's got. So, we're gonna make it a 3-round burst match. Best 2 out of 3. Some of you folks may not know what that is, but that refers to a match that goes 3 rounds, with each round having a specific goal. First one being a pinfall, second one being submission, third, and probably the most fun, it goes to knockout. So that way, whoever is standing at the end, whoever is able to punish the other in 2 out of those 3 rounds and prove that they are the better professional wrestler will come out on top. And will come out with the most prestigious. And the only title I haven't held, the only heavyweight title that I haven't held yet. We'll see who's going to come out on top. I'm not going to sit here and jaw on about how it's going to be me. I'm going to show you what's going to happen in that fucking cage.
There you have it.
Ginger Boy issuing out his stipulation. 1 solid steel cage. 3 rounds. First round, the winner is decided by pinfall. Second is decided by submission. And third, if there is a third round, is determined by knockout. Oh boy. Gingy has picked a very brutal match for his heavyweight championship match.
Yes, and it's going to be absolutely interesting because with the steel cage, doesn't really leave a whole lot of room for any interference, which it seems like it almost seems like the Three Kings weren't they didn't make any comment about it, but they don't seem quite pleased with that interference towards in the last week that we witnessed.
No, it's I was talking to Strongman and Flyboy the other day, and they were, to say they were upset is an understatement, but it's unfortunately becoming a bit of the norm when it comes to the Three Kings. They keep having people keep running in on, like, attacking them. Yes, they got the win in the end, but at what cost?
Yeah, well, good to hear that Strongman is doing well after being knocked out.
He's, physically speaking, he is doing well. Emotionally speaking, he is very upset. And,
oh yeah, I can only imagine the pride, especially for the luchador.
Well, luchador and Japanese strong style wrestler, those two clashes. Yeah, no, his upset, disappointed voice is kind of heartbreaking, to say the least.
Oh wow, but definitely not one to miss.
Most definitely. Like, this is your main event, ladies and gentlemen, of Future Shock this coming Saturday. And I'm not going to lie, someone's going to get busted, someone's going to get broken. And Zako, if you are hearing this, do not make Ginger Boy bleed if you want to win. I gave this warning out to everybody, including yourself, during the C101. Do not make Ginger Boy bleed, or else that's a whole lot of consequences you're going to be dealing with. And I actually do like Zako as a world champion. He's been so great.
No, it's our world champion. He has been wanting nothing but a clean, worthy successor in regards to the actual championship belt. He wants it passed on, no trickery, and he just wants the company to be at the best of it. It's the best. And if, in regards to those stipulations, that is certainly one way to prove it. challenging Zacho in all three of those areas. There
Well,
will be no questions after that match.
most definitely, and it will decide who goes into Multivania as the MNW Heavyweights Champion. Which, not gonna lie, that is a feat in of itself. But, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is your Warzone main event. We have we have the bartending luchador himself, Bart Ender, going up against the Chernobyl Chad, the Atomic Adonis, Big Papa Plutonium, Domain Man. Also, for those who
The
haven't...
Triple X Factor, among many other names. There is a
Jesus
long, long list. Oh, ouch. Oh, yep, ouch. Okay, that still hurts even on the recording. Okay.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I left that... For those who have known Domain Man as a tag team wrestler, have never seen him come to the ring by himself, yeah, that's the effect that goes off. It blinds you every time. Oh yeah, also Master of the 69XYs, the Uranium Underdoor, the Thorium Thunder, the Half-Life Hoss. I swear, there's new nicknames coming every day, and here we have someone interrupting, and it sounds like Glycerius' music? With Glycerius showing up behind Bart Ender. And... attacking his former tag team partner. Honestly speaking, I thought they were on good terms.
No, apparently, in regards to the departure of Power Surge, according to Glycerius here, Bart Ender broke Luchador code. I'm not sure in regards to what aspect. That's just what I heard from the commentators. Big Papa Plutonium over there, he's just getting his bearings. Looks like he's just kind of waiting for those two to get whatever business they had done before getting back to the match proper. He didn't really seem to care either way, from the looks of it.
Yeah, he looked at it and just probably went, "Ah, I see. Well, I'm gonna let you two deal with that." Okay, he's gone. All right, cool. My turn. As we see Glycerius sliding out of the ring as if he's on ice skates. Damn it. I should not have said that. Oh well, I guess I was due for one anyway.
Come on, they're not so bad.
I feel my soul dying for every pun, I swear. Anyway, back into the match. It looks like we have Bart Ender tying up Domain Man. I think this was like the only match that, like, outside of Sawyer and HR Sawyer and Justice Jake, this was like the only match that went over 10 minutes.
Yeah, very surprisingly short set of cards. But that's perfectly fine. I believe, at least speaking from my side, we are definitely going to need all our energy for this weekend. In regards to all the editing, the reviewing, everything. It'll be draining.
I mean, it's going to be a surprising night regardless. I mean, we could see new champions crowned, moments happen that could just shake the foundation of MNW as a whole, and hell, set the table for what to expect for Multivania coming in July. Because, like, this is the last pay-per-view that we have before Multivania even starts, for those who don't know. And,
absolutely, we are on the road to Multivania.
And everyone is not only on their best behavior, but just trying to get their presence known so they can be booked for the show, like for our biggest night of the year. Well, sorry, our biggest weekend of the year. Oh, looks like Bart Ender got a 1 count on Domain Man himself. And here we have Big Papa Plutonium spewing out that plutonium. And granted, we have been assured that the ray shields on the ring have been reinforced, so no worries about getting any kind of radiation. Nice clotheslines.
Absolutely. We're perfectly safe back here. Although I don't want to get too close to find out, personally speaking.
Well, thankfully speaking, we have a... Oh, God, buckle bomb! Jeez! Thankfully speaking, like I've talked with Domain Man before when he first started coming out of his shell. Let's just go with shell. And I didn't really have that much of any side effects. I just had to stick around in a hazmat area for like a week. That was an interesting day. Apparently him and Gore will met by blowing up a couple of planets. So
well, I mean, okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah. And looks like he's getting himself set up. That spider-like walk towards his opponent, stalking his prey. And then setting him up for Half-Life. Going in for that cover. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. The main man's insisting that it was a 3. And then here we have a Canadian destroyer onto the Chernobyl Chad. Kicking right out at 2. Oh, transitioning to a roll of sorts. Kick out at 2 as well. Oh, and a backslide. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect wrestling moves out of Big Papa Plutonium here. I expected, like, you know, I didn't expect like technical moves out of him. I was supposed to expect like slams and strikes.
I mean, possibly, but I mean, when you're in the ring for who knows how long, I'm sure you have to pull a couple new tricks out of the bag now and then, just to keep up with your competition.
I mean, most definitely, especially when you're going up against one of the most the premier luchadors in our frickin' in Warzone. Because Bart Ender, I mean, former Big Oof champion, former Trios champion. I want to say no. Those are his only 2 title wins. I mean, he's pretty up there. Granted, he's not as accomplished as the main man, who I want to say has held just about every title outside of the heavyweight title. And the trios. Yeah. I want to say the trios as well. I'm going to have to converge with Carla on that one, but Bartender going up, big elbow drop from the top rope. I think he's sitting up for something big. And looks like he was trying to go for closing time, but the main man saw that coming and got right out of it. Half-Life 2 connects. 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the main man, the Chernobyl Chad, master of the 69XY's up Plutonium Pastor, the main man, the Atomic Adonis.
The triple X Factor.
God, the list is growing, ladies and gentlemen. But that was your main event, and ladies and gentlemen, that is Warzone. And I will say, tune in to twitch.tv. Every title but... So according to Jerry Aldini himself, every title but the heavyweights. He did hold the WCW heavyweight title back in Lucha Underground. So he has tasted World Championship gold, just not the MNW heavyweight championship. That is very interesting. Thank you, Jerry. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here is your full card going... Oh, God, the crop did not work. Give me a moment. I gotta fight this thing. It is being a bastard. To say that... No, don't move that. Technical difficulties. It's not a firing line without one. Oh, God, that's small. Okay, I can fix this. Hold up. Slightly better. Anyway, so, ladies and gentlemen, we have Uzra going against Kelly of Omega Club. We have Wilson taking on Maximilian Thunder Thighs. The Big Oof Championship, the Storyteller going up against the Gouda Boy himself, Sir McCheese. The in-ring debut of the one of the commentators of MNW Warzone, Michael Montoya, going up against the the wily veteran himself, former world champion, former multiple-time tag team champion there, Michael. Remember that. Putting over his career, putting 67 people in the hospital. Again, remember that, Montoya. And Jerry Aldini, the Warzone general manager, as well as the tag team championship match of the Outlaws going up against Shoot Nation, the House of Caliban taking on the Murder Cave, the Nexus Titan Championship being defended by Lady Boots going up against Kane, and in your main event, Ginger Boy challenges Zako Duo for the Multiversal Heavyweight Championship. All of that is Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/Dr_Caliban. And that is a mouthful, and I'm just gonna be right here for a minute. So, Faye, what do you think about what do you think about this very stacked card?
Can't miss any of it. I'm gonna have to be in my. I'm gonna have to be in the booth. Just busy. I don't want to miss a second of it, and I'm worried I'm gonna look away and miss something big. It just gives me that kind of feeling. Although, I don't know if Montoya, if you're listening, I did get a second bottle of red, one for the wine and one for the blood, and in case Jerry gets a little rough in there for you. So don't worry, I got you.
I'm looking forward to that match, mostly for catharsis reasons, but we don't have to focus on that.
Just don't worry about it.
No, let's not worry about it. Let's not worry about Michael getting what's due for him. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have one more thing to get to before we wrap up for the night, and that is our Warzone moment of the week.
I mean, I would ask who do you like in this match, but knowing you, I think I know.
Oh, yeah, you don't even have to ask, Jerry. I mean, just look at these two men, you know? One is, he's a very smart guy. He's very clever. He knows what he's doing when it comes to investigation. He can, pull information out of places and sources that you'd never even think of. But then you have the beef. He's a wrestler. He's a man who's made to be a fighter. Look at him.
I mean, I'll agree he is a great in-ring competitor, but,
What?
That's Mr. Enigma.
That's Enigma. That's Enigma.
Oh, wait a minute.
What does that mean?
I think it does. Remember, Anon just said it was a...
The reveal. The one who showed the Canadian Mounted Police all the evidence. The mystery partner of one Poo-Poo-Some Monkey. Mr. Enigma. That is your moment of the week, ladies and gentlemen.
The chase is finally over. VIP have their best suspect. They have been tearing through all of Maximilian and Papoose' accomplices and tearing through every possible lead. They went through the Sentinels. They've gone after anyone adjacent to them in order to figure out who did them wrong. And it's going to be interesting seeing how VIP inevitably chooses to go after Mr. Enigma here, and now that he has chosen to reveal himself.
Most definitely. But that is Warzone, and that is Firing Line, ladies and gentlemen. So Faye, as we are winding down here, is there anything that you would like to tell the Firing Line audience?
Other than to join us this Saturday on twitch.tv/Dr. Caliban for all of the action live.
Most definitely so. For my co-host Faye Jinn, I am Joe Mojo, and we are signing out.
Greetings, Multiverse. I am Dr. Vincent Vladimir Caliban, mad scientist, master criminal, and leader of House Caliban. If you enjoyed the video you just saw, please, I invite you to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's the proper thing to do.